What is this veil people talk about that something or someone is on the other side of? It's not easily recognizable to those who are unaware, although many people have caught glimpses of those on the other side. The other side is not that far away. It's all around you, right next to you, and has always been there. We use Ask the Universal channel for the guides to communicate messages to you. And Ray is the one they assigned to speak their messages out on this board. Ask the Universal channel is a trademarked product of our parent company, Channeled Readings. So the guides are going to open the session with their opening message about
the other side of the veil.
That's right. And here they go.
You know, we are always around you on the other side of that veil, as you refer to it. Why can't you see us? It's not that we don't want you to see us. It's just that it's difficult for us to change vibration and lower our frequencies to exist in your dimension. We reside in a higher dimension where we don't require physical bodies. The only way we can allow you to see us is by using the energy in your world to project ourselves into it. This is harder for us than you would think. But we harness the electromagnetic energy in your universe to appear when required. Sometimes you wonder why we do this. Why do we bother protecting and helping and mentoring you along your path? It's because it's part of our jobs. You see, we are evolving just like you, although several dimensions higher. We need to assist you and bring you along on your evolution spiritually so we can also evolve.
So it's a chain reaction, isn't it?
Right up the ladder.
It is. It's a chain reaction. And we do the same thing in our world, where when you find yourself helping somebody who needs help, somebody who doesn't understand what's going on in their life, okay? You try to help them, your own children, anybody, all right? It's a natural response to want to help others. Even animals know that.
So, this veil, I mean, you saw the veil kind of dissolve in front of your eyes before you were 20 months old. Is it really a veil?
When they showed up.
When they showed up.
The guides, when they showed up at 20 months old. And Is it really a veil? What makes it a veil, from my experience, from remembering it from the beginning of my life, is that I didn't know something was there. I didn't really think about it. I knew something was going on, the merry-go-round dream in part 1 of Guided. I talk about the merry-go-round dream and how all these things were happening that I couldn't control. And they were filled with messages that were obvious to me. And nobody ever talked about stuff like that. So that was my first cue to keep it to myself, to keep that to myself. So the veil, it's not there. It's a matter of your ability to accept what we can't see in this world, or maybe haven't imagined, and most definitely forgot. Because when you were a little kid, when you first came into this life as a new person from the other side, you didn't come in alone. You came in with the full team. You came in with your guides to guide you through this life. And when you were really, really small, you were still really connected to the other side, where they reside. It was easy for you just to be in that, okay? You didn't, of course, know how to explain it, didn't even think you would have to explain it. But you all came in with this knowingness, this thing that you just knew things. And your truth, right here, the truth. The truth center it's your gut. It's when you just know something. It's something you can't explain. But anybody here that says, oh, that's just nonsense in this world, that's forgot about the world they came from, and they're just completely invested in this world, they will challenge you on that, all right? So that's why it's so important. That's why I wrote my guided journey, the journal, because don't expect these other guys to understand what you know and what you're understanding and realizing. Don't expect them to. Don't even expect yourself to be able to experience it and hold on to that, remember that until you write it in your journal. Once you write it in your journal and you date it, it's there, it's proof. A week from now, a month from now, you can look back at it and you can see it. It's not just out there in the ethers, kind of out of context now. It's kind of, oh yeah, I remember that part, but I really don't remember what happened after that. It's all right here. There's no way you can forget it. The minute you read it, you remember it, but you read it and you see things you didn't see when you first wrote it in here. So that's how you're going to find out. You're going to become more universal. You're going to become more like in this, coming from this world and in this world. You're going to learn how to be in both worlds, okay? So now you're back together again. Now you're in one piece. But don't expect everyone in this world who forgot about the world they came from. By the way, it's probably about 80% of the people. It's getting better. I mean, 10 years ago, it was maybe 95% of the people. People are coming out. They're getting this. They're learning how to acclimate to both worlds. They're learning that they're both there, and they're learning how to integrate them. All right, and we're ready for it. It's time. We came here to experience that. So it's not so paranormal as it is normal to do that, but to become proficient at doing that, to know the difference, to be able to discern when it's guidance coming through as opposed to you making it the way you want it to be, making things up. You got to write it in here to see and reflect on and see the difference, and you will recognize it right away. So that's why you want to keep doing this, you guys.
Okay, so this is really, it's not really a veil or a curtain like the wizard. Mm-hmm. There's nobody standing behind the curtain. But you feel their presence. You always have this awareness that there's somebody else here. There's somebody around me.
You can feel it like this.
You can feel their energy.
Yeah.
Even some people go through their whole life, don't see them.
Well, I can't imagine that.
I know.
But I know what you mean, Ray, and it's all the time. Okay, here's an example of that. While Ray and I were setting up to get with you guys tonight, and even right now, I feel my face getting really warm. It had to be 20 minutes before the session started. All of a sudden, I felt that rush of heat run through me. And I'm going, oh boy, I need to turn the air conditioner on, get really cold in here. Because when they come to me, the energy that Ray's referring to, it comes to me in heat. I get really warm. I've got a fan down here. We have a fan up there.
And I'm your biggest fan.
I love that, Ray. Anyway, it's about it. You'll feel a sensation. Everybody feels something different. What do you feel, Ray?
I mean, but as a baby, the first time you saw them, you didn't feel like, I'm getting hot, there must be something going on around here.
No. It came through a lot more abruptly than that.
Right.
Now, when I talk about the heat, the change in the heat, and how it just runs through me, is it's the norm, okay? It's how I know that they're really coming through. It's like the forces are building up to be in this session with you tonight, all right? And I can feel the energy. What is it, Ray, that you do, that you feel? I can tell you what it is, and you're probably going to forget what it is.
Well, what is it I do?
You write.
I do. I start writing.
Yeah, Ray throws his energy down on paper. You guys, I'm telling you, this is critical to moving through this as quickly as possible. This is your shortcut, all right?
Yeah, they come through so fast that I have to write everything down so I don't forget to ask to bring it up.
I know. It's great.
Okay.
It's really great.
So,
So everybody will have a different sensation about this other side of the veil. It's not that, is there someone there? Definitely. They're all there. They've been waiting for you to be ready. But it's about you getting more sensitive to what it feels like to you. Like right now, I feel wet right here, okay? I don't usually feel like that at all, okay? And I notice it. I'm like, okay, I can feel this. It's different than the rest of my day when I'm working. Well, unless they come through and they just are right there, then I can feel it again. The heat comes through, all right? A lot of women think it's a hot flash, when really it's the energy coming through you, conveying something to you from let's say the other side of the veil. The other side of the veil would be, I'm going to reinterpret that, translate that. Other side of the veil would be the other side of your consciousness, the ability to see more, to connect with more, to understand more, to evolve, to vibrate higher, okay? All of a sudden, that veil becomes real thin. It's thinner than it ever was. And pretty soon, it's gone. It doesn't need to be there. It's only there because a part of you is still a little scared or doesn't know what it is and you're not sure about it. That's the veil. It's all in our heads.
Plus, they explain why it's difficult for them to just appear in our existence, in our low vibratory
They have to
existence.
They really have to pull it down. They have to take their energy and ratchet it way. When this came through, when I caught this photograph right here in 1994, it's the same image, the same guides that came to me when I was 20 months old. Then they showed up all around me.
That was more than a dozen of them. So
Yeah.
that was a lot of energy.
Yeah, they were, and as a baby, I didn't have the resistance that you learn to have in this world. I didn't have it. I was just 20 months old, so I was wide open to seeing things just like I saw them before I got here. But this energy, it had to ratchet itself down, almost like hold its breath, to let itself be, boom, seen, and it just, there it was, bright. And as soon as I caught the photograph of them, they were gone. Because it's so hard for them to hold that energy. It's like they had to come down like several dimensions to show up here, just to physically be something that we can comprehend, that we're able to see with our physical eyes and make physical by taking a photograph of it. We live in a pretty rigid dimension here in the third dimension. Once you start to realize what this veil really is, all right?